Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And in this video today, I want to talk about the topic of, dealing with being single. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because I know that there are plenty of people out there, myself included, who have either dealt with being single or still deal with being single. And you guys can probably relate to what I'm going to talk about in this video. And if there's anybody out there between the ages of 13 through 25 or so, if you guys are dealing with being single, this video is aimed mainly towards you guys. And of course, that's just a guess with age. And honestly, if you want my 50 cents on dealing with singleness, it would be this. Yes, I realize that a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship can be very special and it can be very fun. I've had a few relationships like that before and they have been totally awesome. And I can also say that in my time being single, which I still am, I have had a lot of fun memories being single. Yeah, there's that challenge of going through some days being single and you think to yourself, gee, I wish I had a significant other. Can you guys relate to that? I know there have been plenty of times with me, at least, where I felt kind of lonely because I didn't have a significant other. But then over time I realized that thinking too much about one thing, which is my relationship status, and letting that thought turn into something negative is not a very helpful thing for me to do. You know, I think it's very easy to get caught up in thinking about one negative thought. And this can be on anything, but in this case, we get caught up in thinking to ourselves, we're single, and then I'm single and lonely, I'm single, I'm lonely, I'm sad. And from there, our thoughts just get more negative. I've been in that boat, and I'm sure plenty of people out there watching this have probably been in that boat before. And honestly, I think it's good to avoid getting caught up in just one thought and letting it turn into something very negative, which could have unhealthy consequences for us. I would say try to remember the blessings that you have in your life, and also, if you know somebody who is really trustworthy and will listen to you and have a serious conversation with you, I would say talk to somebody. Just open up about how you're feeling and just talk. There may not be a solution that comes about from that conversation, but just having somebody to talk to when you feel down, and for any reason, can be really helpful. So, basically what I'm saying on this part is that if you have that negative thought about being single, don't get trapped in thinking about it all the time. And also, if you want, seek out somebody that you can talk to and just talk, because it can be really helpful, especially if you talk to a mature person about how you're feeling. Also, here's what I like to remember right now as a single person in my early 20s. This is something that has been very helpful to me, and I hope it's very helpful to everybody out there as well. I would encourage anybody to remember that in your years from 18 to 30, that you have all this time to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. And odds are, in that time, you're going to be having a very busy schedule. And these years are great And it can be helpful to be single in this case because you're not committed to a relationship that could tie you down into one place. Now, the one thing I will say, though, is that even if you do find a relationship at this time, I mean, don't avoid it. If you find the love of your life between 18 and 30, I mean, that's awesome. You don't have to give up that kind of relationship just because you're trying to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. But overall, just remember, between 18 and 30, you have all that time to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. So just remember that. And with that, that's pretty much all I have to talk about on this subject. I certainly hope everything I've talked about in this video will come in handy. And come back for another word of advice video.